Hey everybody, welcome back to the Fish Tank. We've got some important information to go through right now regarding the future of Minion Masters. The developers have just literally a couple of minutes ago dropped an update. I haven't read it yet. I kind of know what's going to be in it, but I haven't read the update. So we're going to go through this in real time together. So 2.8 is launching today. That's a new patch, but we also have some other new stuff to go through. I can see my chat trying to be annoying, so let's fix that for a second. Right, here we go. Strap in. So these are the patch notes, and within the patch notes there is, I'm on the wrong screen, on my screen, there is a section entitled About the Future of Minion Masters. So, with this update, we're adding what we believe is almost the final batch of new content to Minion Masters. The final content patch, 2.9, remember we're 2.8 today, 2.9, will be released next month. So one thing to remember about Minion Masters, it's been out for 8 years, I think. 2016 is when it came out. Minion Masters did great for a long time, but now is no longer profitable and cannot sustain further development. You know, ultimately, at the end of the day, companies make games to make monies, right? Our 2.0 update didn't perform as hoped. I mean, we all know why. It was just horrible when it came out. And while we explored various options to revitalize the game, including an Android release and the alternate Master Perks feature, none of them managed to keep the game profitable. So, I mean, that's ultimately what it comes down to, right? Making money. Throughout this journey, we've remained committed to providing a fair and enjoyable experience for all players. We consciously choose not to adopt aggressive monetization tactics, prioritizing your trust and the integrity of the game over short-term gains. However, this is not the end of Minion Masters. The game will remain live. We're thrilled to give you guys a direct role in shaping its future. Starting this November, we'll roll out monthly balance updates based on your votes. We'll share more information about how this will work in the upcoming weeks, as well as additional information about other topics like moderation and any other changes. You'll have the power to decide which cards should be buffed or nerfed, keeping the game dynamic and aligned with your preferences. All revenue generated will go directly to sustaining the servers and keeping the game live. Oh, we've got a FAQ here. We've prepared an FAQ with general questions you might have. You can access it here. We'll look at that in a minute. We've shared an incredible journey with you. Together we've built an amazing world, lived epic and stressful moments, and released more than 260 cards. That's over 290 cards. Money can request it in here. It's in the Discord, the link. We've shared, during those several years, your passion and dedication has been the lifeblood of this game. While our role in creating new content may be coming to an end, the heart and soul of Minion Masters will always belong to you. The Minion Masters. Yes, it's within the patch notes, thanks. Okay, so, kind of bad news, but not the worst news. The game isn't dying, the game isn't dead. And I guess it's up to us as the community to decide whether we want to continue playing the game, being part of it, supporting the game. I don't really know. I don't know how much I can say. Basically, okay, let me say it like this. Because there's going to be no new content, and that to me, that's not a huge thing. Losing the alt perks, the new alt perks, is kind of a big thing. Losing the new cards is not huge to me, because I feel like mostly the new cards don't really interest me that much, or don't get played that much. So basically, because there's going to be no new content, we won't need any developers to make the new content. Therefore, there'll be less costs for the game. So basically, the game just has to generate enough money to pay effectively for its servers. Maybe a little bit else, but mostly for its servers. So as long as the game can make that money, then it will continue going. You know, the devs don't want to keep the game going if it's going to cost them lots of money, right? Ideally, this is to make them money, or at least break even. If they can keep the game running at no cost to themselves, really, then that's going to be fine. And that's where the community comes in. We can decide whether we want that to happen or not by playing the game, supporting the game, and being part of the community if we want it to continue. And as they said, there's still going to be monthly balance updates, and that's going to be done slightly differently. So there's going to be the facility for everyone in the community to suggest what they think should be changed. And then people can upvote and downvote those as appropriate. And then there'll be sort of an overview committee that'll look at those and decide, are these good ideas in general? Do they make sense? Are they feasible? So that's where we are at the moment. So not great news, but not the worst news. Okay. Oh, this is clickable. No. Okay, so we have an FAQ here. Looks like we got a lot of questions here. Guess we're going to go through these. This page regroups the initial questions we had and think we'll have following the announcement that was made. Okay. Do you plan on lowering the Battle Pass price? This was not initially planned, but this is a good suggestion. We'll consider it. My suggestion. Will you rework the shop to make things more available to purchase? We initially wanted to do this, making everything available to purchase, but ultimately it requires too many dev resources we don't have. Okay, that's a shame. What are the plans for the guild system? Let me make this a little bit bigger. We will not develop any further features, as the final updates we release will be focused on new content and bug fixing. Unfortunately, any guild feature will not happen. That being said, you can definitely coordinate on Discord in the future to create guild competitions, events, or similar. Okay, so one thing to mention here, there is always the possibility that a different company could buy the IP or the rights to it and then develop the game further. So, you know, there are things that could happen in the future, but we don't know what they are. Is that a pipe dream? Maybe, but it's definitely not an impossibility. Will the partner program be open in a not far future? We can hold a final recruitment round of new partners before the last update, rewarding the most active creators who helped us these past few years. What will happen to the streamer role, etc.? We'll try to fix the things that are currently broken, and we'll still give monthly creator codes. Okay, that's good. The arena, the stream arena is broken at the moment for some reason. Twitch drops still work, but getting the arena fix will be nice. Will you consider creating new codes like the ones in the newsletter? No new global codes will be released, but we'll still have Dwarf Packs Ruby codes given away by creators and tournaments. Will you consider adding new Twitch drop rewards? No new content will be added. Can you add patch notes on the Xbox Club? I want this to happen so much. So if you're on Steam, you get the patch notes in Steam, right? Whereas on Xbox, for some reason, they just don't have access to do it. So if you're on Xbox, you don't see anything. Right, we'll try to connect with Xbox to re-enable our Xbox Club account and make this happen. Okay, fingers crossed. That'll be good for the Xbox community. Can you add more visibility to community guides to help new players? Yes, we can discuss with you and gather any ideas, okay? Can you go back to the chat room being one room rather than many? No. This is so cringe where the global chat or the general chat in the game, there's only a maximum of 200 people that can be in there. So this problem might go away if we have less than 200 people playing. But basically what happens is once that chat room's filled up, it creates another general chat room and so on and so forth. So you and your friend might be in different rooms. And ultimately it just makes the game feel less active than it is because you only see your room's worth of chat messages. Right, the game after the final content update. To what extent can the community suggest changes? So this is talking about balance changes. Simple number changes to health, attack speed, damage, and other stats. Adding a buff, debuff to a card. Changing targeting. A spell minion cannot hit air, for example. So that's kind of the... If you're going to balance things, it has to be done in like the most simple way. Will there be bug fixing, improvement, stability? There might be some small ones if we get very good reproduction. Sorry, an FDM has spare time from the patch, but it depends on how easy it is to fix and how much time the patches have. Yes, Money, put the link in the chat. Is there a limit to how many chances will be included? Changes will be in one balance patch. Yes, we aim to have a maximum of 25 changes per patch. What are the plans for mobile and Xbox? Same as the Steam version. They'll get the balance patches. They'll continue as with the Steam version. How will in-game moderation work? Similar to how it currently works, the community members are doing the bulk of the moderation. If we need new moderators appointed, that can easily be done and fits within the scope of the resources dedicated to maintaining the game. What I'm really pushing for, and let me know what you think about this, I want because there's a real problem with griefing and griefing going unpunished. I want to put together an overview committee where people can submit replays of people griefing. And of course, you're not going to get banned based on just one replay. But we should be able to, assuming it's not too much work, we've got enough people to do it, we should be able to have some kind of oversight there and highlight to the devs the people that really do need to be banned. So I'm pushing for that. We'll see how that works out. If anyone wants to help with that, let me know. Will you keep answering Android reviews? This is not currently planned. Okay, however, if some of you want to help answer these reviews, we can try that. Yes, yes! Just let me help! It's so annoying when you see people in an Android review saying they have a problem and you know the solution to it and you can't reply to it. Will you still handle email support? We will still keep an eye out on the email support, but we'll only handle issues related to Ruby purchases and similar. Okay. So, basically, stop sending people to email support unless it's something to do with being purchased. Why can't you make everything free if the game isn't going to get more content? Because all the revenue generated now will be allocated to keeping the game online, like paying for the server costs. We do not plan to make money from it anymore. All the extra revenue from 1 month will be stored for the following month's server costs. Is there any chance we can have access to the source code? Yes, there is a chance. We'd love to have a chat about how we could provide you with more access to change the game. Yeah, but who's going to do that? Who can be trusted to do that? Jesus. Interesting idea, though. How will this affect the tournament scene? The tournament scene should mostly not be affected. We already started giving more power to Discord moderators by allowing them to publish tournament announcements. Real dollar prizes will most likely not be a thing anymore. Okay, so like the tournament scene not being affected, but then also not giving any money towards it is not the same message. However, they can be replaced with rubies and other dwarf codes. Yeah, but people I mean, that's good for nerd players, but not so much for existing players. I mean, we can maybe try to crowdfund tournament prizes if people want that. Right, we're also considering selecting some trustworthy players and giving them access to the dwarf code tool to be autonomous with it. I'm gonna get very popular. Okay, how did we get to this? Why do you think 2.0 failed so hard that you need to go to this state? 2.0 was a risky chance to fix a downward decline. A great but risky chance we took with a limited budget and ultimately failed, leading to a disappointing 2.0 release, but the game is still declining year over year and we'd likely have been in this situation anyway, but likely later than now. Why was BetaDwarf not seeking to make more of the most popular products sold to increase revenue? As mentioned in our announcement, we chose to stay committed to providing a fair and enjoyable experience for all players. We consciously chose not to adopt aggressive monetization tactics, prioritizing your trust and the integrity of the game. The most popular, yeah, so they discussed this before, that the most popular product is the Season Pass. Most rubies purchased go towards the Season Pass. So that's why they had to be careful with the Season Pass. Why didn't you advertise the games more like Raid Shadow Legends? We're already short on revenue or resources to properly finish the development of the 2.0 version, so we simply didn't have the funds to advertise the game. For advertisements to sustain your game, you need an extensive budget and aggressive monetization model. We didn't have the funds to do these campaigns, and we wanted to stay committed to providing a fair and enjoyable experience for all players. Is this because of Netflix? No, not really. It was because we could not deliver as fast as we had hoped, and we're on a limited budget, as game projects almost always are. Upgrading 1.0 to 2.0 and porting to mobile was just a humongous effort that was hard to plan in detail. They honoured their contract and went above and beyond to help us within reason. Other questions. What about making Minion Masters a roguelike based on adventure mode? It's not on the roadmap, but it's a very compelling project to consider for the future, especially if it seems like there's lots of interest in the community. Do you or will you get any other partnership proposals like Netflix? We don't have any other partnership proposals for now. However, We want to see the game live as much as you do, and we will take any proposal we receive seriously. What did you learn from this game that will make your next game stand a better chance? Historically, our games are on a good trajectory. Minion Masters has been very good business for us, especially in the years around launch, and has reached way above our goals and expectations, so we consider it a great success. We also made Force, which did well, but MM did even better. So if our next game does even better than MM, we're really happy about continuing this trajectory. Remember, Minion Masters came out in like 2016 on Steam, maybe even earlier on Discord, I'm not sure. So it's been around for 8 years, which for kind of smaller games, I don't think that happens too often. And I imagine when they launched it, they didn't expect it to still be going 8 years later. MM always gives us lots of bonuses for our next game. We'll consider continue the franchise and lore, which also enables us to utilize many of the characters and assets to build on top of the new game instead of starting over. Additionally, there's a larger community that likes the world now, adding more interest from the start on our next game than we had when we launched MM. There are, of course, more than 4 million people who own a BetaDwarf game now on Steam alone, and this is, of course, a great advantage when we notify them of our next games. Yeah, when it first came out on Discord, you had to pay for it. Minion Masters is also a great IP that we have the opportunity to revisit in the future for sequels, the roguelike game mentioned in an earlier question here, and something else. But besides these advantages that Minion Masters has given us, we've also learned several things. Free-to-play does not seem optimal in the Western markets due to how platform stores are organised. They mainly advertise premium and discounts on premium games. This means we'll pursue a model of premium combined with games as a service, which also allows more flexibility on monetization and likely allowing it to be even more generous and optional. Another learning is to plan for consoles from the start, which we're doing on the new game to optimize for a much more native experience. Are you laying off the whole team? No. We had to say goodbye to several dwarves working on Minion Masters, but we moved everyone we could to our other funded project. Why do you have the money to develop your other game and not this one? We received a lot of earmarked investment money to develop the other game. It's weird that they don't mention the other game by name. That cannot be spent on Minion Masters. Right. There we have it, guys. Hot off the press. We go back to where we were. Let's just... Oh, hold on. Let's just remind ourselves. Final content patch is going to be 2.9. So I think we'll get 2 new cards in the final content patch. It's going to be kind of awkward because we're not going to get any more alt perks. So we've got the new alt perks in this patch. So we're going to have APEP and Rect. We're going to have 2 alt perks. Whereas all the others only have 1. Okay. However, this is not the end of Minion Masters, guys. We can choose whether we want to keep this going. Do we want to keep playing the game? Do we enjoy it? Do we want to stream it? Do we want to get our friends to play it? Do we want to be part of the community and so on and so forth? My answer to that is yes. Your answer to that, I don't know. Let me know in the comments. So that's it. If you got any questions, let me know. I'm bad as a fish, and I'll see you again soon here in the fish tank.